Hey, Husky fans, welcome back to Fourth and Inches, a Husky podcast. My name is Trevor Mueller. With me is Jake Grant and Coach V. And we're 3 weeks away. The season is here. We have a game in a couple of weeks over across the pond. There's a lot of positive vibes coming out of Montlake. Joel Klatt just put them as his dark horse Big Ten team to make the playoffs. That's an unranked team right now. They got 0 votes in the preseason polls. Preseason polls are silly, but they do mean something when it comes to your positions going forward. I think it actually matters more, unfortunately, now with the strength of schedule being so diverse. I'm uncomfortable with the fact that you almost don't play half of the conference. And so that conference schedule, the strength of that schedule, a loss here or there could really derail something. I'm kind of going off on a tangent. Anything you guys want to contribute to the preseason poll? Things that are encouraging to you coming out of practice reports? Anything like that, Jake?
I mean, as far as strength of schedule goes, I don't think that Washington or anybody else in the Big Ten's ever going to have to worry about it. I don't think that if one loss should ever eliminate a Big Ten team as far as college football playoff goes. Top to bottom, I mean, we've talked about the strongest schedule in the nation. I would dare to say stronger than the SEC right now, especially with Washington on the rise again. I mean, it's just something that, even with 3 cupcakes in the prior to conference play, I don't think that that's anything that we should ever worry about.
Jake calling WSU a cupcake is
Cupcake.
awesome.
Cupcake.
Yeah. Well, not all group of 5 schools are cupcakes, but we'll see. My biggest gripe, and I keep saying it to anybody who will listen, it is stupid to have a preseason poll. We should just wait for the first 3 or 4 weeks and then put out a ranking, just like they do later in the season with the bowl rankings and the playoff rankings and such. What it does is, I mean, Michigan is like 14th in one of the polls.
I mean, they
How
were
much
10 when they
people
came to
believe?
Husky Stadium last year, too.
I mean, they just lost a bunch of guys to the NFL. They're breaking in a true freshman quarterback, and because their name is Michigan, they're going to beat up on a couple directional schools, and then like, oh look, they're a top 10 team. Like, no, you don't know that yet. We don't know what these guys are. We don't know what Ohio State looks like with a new quarterback. Anybody who thinks that they know anything about it at this point in the stage, it's just all for clicks and hype and. So we didn't get any votes. Cool. We won't get any votes. We may, if we go, win the first 3, we may be like 27, 20. I mean, but if you had ranked us, say, 20 at the beginning of the season, then we go 3-0, all of a sudden we're creeping up, and then we have the Ohio State game, and it's a big matchup. And it's all perception. It's all BS. It's all marketing. So
Yeah, and I think you nailed it. I really truly think you nailed it as far as it's a publicity stunt for college football. It's to get people like ourselves hyped that the college season is approaching. The NFL does this even more drastically than college football with the schedule release, with the draft, with everything that they do. This is college football's way of saying, hey, don't forget about us. We're a good product too, and it gets people hyped. And and then for people like us that we root for a team that's not ranked, it gives us something to either look forward to or complain about, or and here we are, we're talking about it.
Well, and it also gives me the opportunity to talk about how much I hate the SEC and the fact that they are going to be able to look back at some of these cupcake schedules. That is your top 3 teams in the SEC are going to get ranked wins versus teams that, if they didn't have that SEC logo on their shoulder pad, probably wouldn't be in those rankings. It's a resume filler for ESPN to make sure that they get SEC teams in that playoff. So we are here to talk about the offensive preview of this Washington Huskies 2025 roster, and we're going to
doing this.
The what?
Like our 8th year doing this.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first year we did it, it was junior Jake Browning and Miles Gaskin. heading to the kickoff game against Auburn. So this year we have a sophomore quarter. We're going to start right in the quarterback's room, right in the wheelhouse. We have, by all intents and purposes, right now, he's a little bit ahead of where the true freshmen are because he's played in a lot of games. He's been the starter in 2, and he's looked like a star. Now, you can't say necessarily over the course of the year that he's not going to have bumps and bruises, but man, Damon Williams seems to be the ultimate package. He immediately jumps a lot of guys that are in the Big Ten, the quarterbacks that are already here, even some like Ethan Kaliakmanis, who's been in college football forever. This guy is electric. He can beat you with his legs. He can beat you with his arm. He has a cannon. He fits it in really well. Coach, you've coached against him before. I want you to diagnose, and I know that we've talked a lot of superlatives about him, but like, where do you see Damon Williams in year 2?
Quite honestly, as far as year 2 quarterbacks, there's you think about like Jake Browning and the year he had and the numbers he put up. His freshman year, it was sort of like you see little flashes here and there, and then now the difference is Jake got to play the whole year. He started from game 1, Boise State. They won like 7 games that year. Demond in year 2 with an improved offensive line, fingers crossed. The weapons he has around him, the running game he should have. You're looking at a player who has the potential to be either all Big Ten or at least honorable mention. Now, a lot of things have to go right. You have to win a lot of games and such, but he's a nightmare to deal with. And I've always said his best attribute isn't his rocket arm, isn't the athleticism. It's just the fact that he's got this cool factor where he's never pressed. And he works extremely hard, and he's really intelligent, and he probably knows the system like the back of his hand now. So the confidence is there. He's had a chance to work with the guys, for the whole spring and through this summer now. Health willing, I'm looking at like Big Ten honorable mention. Like I think that that's a reasonable expectation.
So do you think, just based on that, like the guys that are probably going to, I mean, Drew Aller's probably going to get it just because I think Penn State might be the best team in the country.
Not so fast. They have James Franklin as their coach.
They have 2 NFL running backs.
They had him last year.
That's true. But Luke Altmaier's probably in there as well. And then I'm not really sure. It's probably after that, it's kind of an open session, right? I can't think of another quarterback that I'm sold on in the Big Ten. Maybe the Tennessee transfer.
Who's the kid that was at Cal last year?
In Indiana, Mendoza.
Yeah.
So there's some guys that have a proven track record. Damon just showed, and Jake, you can speak to this too. Like he was just so electric behind an offensive line that was letting guys free on him. I mean, he still put up numbers against Oregon, even though he got sacked freaking 10 times.
Yeah, I'm just so confused. This whole time when you started talking about starting quarterback, I thought we were going to talk about Dashby Early the whole time. That's my bad. No.
Yeah.
Jake.
We all watched the Sun Bowl. We saw how electric he can be. My biggest concern right now is the offensive line. Can we keep him upright? We know that he has athleticism, he has speed, he can get out of the pocket at any time he wants. We have seen quarterbacks that have that ability to get absolutely lit up and hurt, and I don't wish this into fruition, obviously, but he needs to have a pocket around him. He needs to be able to fling the ball. He needs to be able to make the throws that we know he can make. He has all the accuracy in the world when he has the time. What I don't want to see is him throwing on the run all year. I want him to have a pocket that he can step back, step into his throw and make good, accurate throws, because his receiving core is there. You mentioned, I think it was Joel Klatt earlier. I think it was him that said that Washington might have the best trio in all of the Big Ten as far as quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. And so all he's got to do is have the time and the space to step into throws and give his receivers a chance to go out and make those plays. And it's not even just the receivers. He can. We've seen Jonah Coleman catch 1,000 balls. That guy has the hands of a wide receiver with the breakability that he has in the backfield. Once he gets out in open space, I mean, I'm going through a bunch of different positions. I'm sorry, but I guess my biggest point is DeMond needs to have the time that he kind of deserves as a quarterback that's a rising star. If we don't give him that time, we're doing him a huge disservice.
Right, and I see this as like the year that people start to know DeMond Williams' name around the country, leading to a 2026 season where you hope the administrators put the full court press on to get him, nationally known to maybe make a trip to New York in his junior season. Behind him, I mean, honestly,
let's be honest. He has the talent and the capability to get sent to New York this year.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
If
and the question is it good?
He could be.
What's that?
If things go right, he could be there this year.
100%. He goes down. I mean, they got Kai Horton, who's going to be his primary backup. But the reality is, if he goes down, we're going to be praying to be bowl eligible.
As I mentioned earlier, I had some time on my hands today. I actually hunted around the internet for Kai Horton film, and I found his high school huddle, and I was watching a little bit. I was like, he's not a bad passer, not very athletic, not a fast guy by any means. He's a big kid, but really, what we're looking at is like, you really hope that the only action he has is when we blow somebody out and he's just handing the ball off in the fourth quarter. As far as the two freshmen go, I know that Dash Byerly had like a lot of hype all year long, and he played on an amazing team. But McMillan, it sounds like everything I've heard is that McMillan is ahead of him. And when we watch him in the spring game, the kid just has a rocket, and he's active, and he's a little DeMond light. Like, he just has like that compact frame, and he can move around and do a lot of different things, and he has a howitzer. So. We don't want to see those guys play any meaningful snaps this year because obviously DeMond is the franchise.
Jake, do you have anything to add on any of the backup quarterbacks?
No, I mean, not until we absolutely have to, right? Let's hope that we don't have to talk about the backups at all year. I think I think that we all are in agreement that we're all looking forward to an entire season of DeMond.
I would like to talk about Byerly and McMillan in the springtime about who's going to be the primary backup come 2026. I think that's the next time I want to hear those two last names come out of my mouth.
I wanted to talk about by the time we get towards the end of the season and we're up by 42 on Oregon in the third quarter, I would love to do a breakdown on McMillan carving up their second string secondary and adding some very spicy, meaningless garbage time points to the total.
And then taking a sledgehammer to an Oregon helmet or whatever we do when we're up.
We don't do that here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we don't need to do that.
Just trashy.
Just point to the scoreboard.
Yeah, this is a really fun podcast, especially on going through the skill positions, because Joel Klatt is right. I mean, having a potential star quarterback, one of the best running backs in the country, and a bona fide number one receiver is pretty awesome. But this running back room is replenished in a way that we haven't seen in a few years. Like this group is star power is high. You got a potential future star right behind him, and then you got guys in the program that legitimately are excited about. And you have a room like this back in 2023, the loss of one guy probably doesn't mean as much as it did to that program. Obviously number one up there is Jonah Coleman. Who wants to talk superlatives about Jonah?
I just think it's so cool that he came back. We were talking late last year about Jonah's probably gone. He's got NFL draft stock. He's got kind of the prototypical NFL draft body, running skill set. So for him to come back, he did us all as fans a huge, huge favor, and we should all be thanking him for that. Um, you know, and it's not even just him though. Yeah, we all love Jonah, right? I mean, I think we can all agree. Jonah's a beast. He's slimmed down a little bit. He looks fit. I mean, this guy he's juiced. But Adam Muhammad, man, that guy is a tank in himself. And I don't know when the last time Washington had a duo that was as big and powerful as what we have right now. I mean, we've had good
Miles
duos,
Gaskin
right?
and Levon Coleman, right?
But I don't think Miles Gaskin was, built like these guys. Yeah, he was a really great running
Okay.
back, but I mean, I'm talking
Yeah.
about punishing backs. Both of these guys are punishing backs, and they're both laying the hammer to the linebackers, and it's going to be 4 tough quarters of defending the run, and I'm praying that Jed gives Jonah the ball as much as he deserves this year.
So my biggest question mark coming into this year is what does Adam Muhammad look like with a better offensive line? And the notes I have on him are obviously he's a big, strong kid and he's got some juice. He had absolutely there wasn't like a whole lot of holes for him to run through last year, obviously. But I want to see him be more patient. I want to see him have the vision, not just hammer straight ahead as fast as you can and get 3 or 4 yards. I want to see the nuances of like, Jonah Coleman is big, thick, fast, but and explosive, but he's got the eyes where he can just see it unfold. And if you give him even a tiny little bit of daylight, there were a couple times last year in some big games like the Michigan game and some others where he was supposed to run inside zone, nothing was there, and his lateral burst was just incredible, and he somehow got out of the hole and took it around the end for a big play. Those are special traits. So I want to see if Adam has improved in the offseason. I want to see him be more patient. And I just want to see him, when he comes in, I don't want to see a big drop off.
Yeah, and he was pretty bowling bally even in the and when I'm talking about Muhammad, he was pretty bowling bally in the spring game still, where it looked like he was just violently running into the backs of his blockers. That'll still play. I mean, the cool thing is he's gonna, he's the number 2, right? It's something that he can continue to develop. You go much beyond him, though. Jordan Washington is one of the fastest guys in the program. The way that you got 2 just sludge hammers, and then you got this guy that can kick one out, and he's, Savon Ahmed fast, right? He's getting outside. Every time he touches the ball, yeah, right. Every time he touches the ball, you have the potential to take it to the house. So
And
I think
hopefully, Jordan never trains with FSP and slows down by 0.2 of a second.
yeah.
Should we not say that?
Coach, you can say whatever the hell you want to say about
Yeah.
No, don't tell me that. I'm gonna get
it.
fired. But yeah, I would love to see Jordan Washington get involved. And Jed is such a big screen guy. It's only a matter of time before they get the ball in his hands out on the perimeter with a convoy of blockers in front of him. Maybe flank him out into the slot. Maybe start 2 backs. Maybe motion him out to the slot. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But just find ways to get him in space.
I mean, what about just having him be your third down back? I mean, I know Jonah's such a good pass catcher, but third down
Well,
situations, even third and long, where a absolute rocket ship speedster can potentially
I'm,
get that
I'm,
for
I'm
you.
gonna tell you why. The most boring thing in football that a coach will tell you is that you got to be able to pass protect as a third
Yeah,
down back.
yeah.
And he's one of the smaller guys in that he is the smallest guy in that running back room, right?
5'11", 185. Yeah, him and Quade Carr, who will almost certainly be redshirting this year.
And then they got this Julian McMahon kid who I haven't got to see any video of him in camp, but I mean, when he committed, it's been like on 2 years. Like I feel like he's been committed for a long time. And the first time I watched him, I'm like, well, they're going to move him to linebacker.
He's
He
6'2",
was a
230
sophomore.
right now.
Yeah, he's a monster. And so, I don't know how much playing time he's going to get this year. Maybe he'll get his 4 games in and whatever. My God, they love the big backs.
Well, and he's a future star too because not only is he he's a giant, he's also really good out of the backfield as a pass catcher as well. So I think he's, as Jonah Coleman moves on to the NFL and Adam Muhammad assume what would be the assumed starter. Julian McMillan, Adam Muhammad, that looks like two sledgehammers again with, and again, Jordan Washington would just be a redshirt sophomore. So
I'll
it's a
I'll take
it's just a healthy room.
I'll take a UW Brandon Jacobs. I'll be okay with that.
Yeah, those guys end up pretty good at the college and the professional level. So crazy that even with his measurables sitting at a 3-star, never got that 4th star. That actually, not that I get too excited about stars, but that one surprised me of how kind of under the radar he was. Moving on to anything else on running backs before we move on.
We just need a healthy room.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason last year, I know they never disclosed it, but there were times where they were like Jonah was on a pitch count. You're like,
Yes.
wow, he's tearing it up. Why is he not in the game right now? Probably wasn't 100%. Keep that guy healthy. Keep Adam Muhammad healthy. And hopefully we will be having a really fun year with Damon leaning on a running game and just hitting big hole shots in the defense because, they got to play man.
Having Muhammad have that last year of getting actual meaningful playing time, I think is going to do Jonah just as much of a favor as it's going to do Adam, because they're going to trust Adam a little bit more to go out there in more situations and give him more touches. And so I think that's going to help with the ability of keeping Jonah healthy.
Right. It's like, I'm going to bring it up again. You're not going to Dylan Johnson him, right?
Right. That's my running back. That's my running back. Don't you talk bad about my running back.
Dylan Johnson, the way that he sacrificed his body, deserves a statue up front.
Absolutely.
Still the greatest pass protecting running back I've ever seen in my history of watching UW football.
That is so awesome.
Give him a statue of him sliding down after getting that first down against Oregon. Middle fingers.
What did he say? Forget about that. They're gonna win the game. Whatever he said, I don't even remember how he said it.
The statue of him should be Josh Connerly walking off the field with his head down.
Oh, Jay.
Man, Josh catching strays on the pod. Ouch. Damn.
Huh?
What did it say in that? I know it hurts so bad right now. Brutal. Next room, the wide receiver room, is one of the more interesting rooms because you have the bona fide #1 starter in Denzel Boston, who I went back, I wrote a story on him. He was a 3-star prospect out of Emerald Ridge. How many major Division I scholarships did he have offered?
You said major.
I said major, so WSU doesn't count.
Mm-mm. One?
Let's go 3.
3?
He had Washington and the Arizona schools.
It's like 1.5.
Yeah. Well, Arizona State, they're pretty major now, right? They went to the playoff. Well, I guess Boise State did too, so I don't know what that means.
When he got his scholarship offer, Jaden Daniels was their quarterback, I believe.
Probably.
Think about that.
2020, yeah. Oh, yeah, so that's a bad Arizona State team too. Was it? Do you think Herm offered it to him?
Yeah. Who knows? They probably offered him during their COVID violation. They probably tried to talk him into getting on campus or something. I don't know.
Hilarious. But now he's looking at he's a NFL prospect. He's going to be in the NFL next year if he chooses to. And the rest of the room has a ton of talent, especially the true freshmen. Could end up developing into one of the best wide receiver rooms in the country. Eventually. But what does that really talented team room look like now?
Jake, you want to take this?
Go ahead, Jake.
I just want to start it off by saying that Denzel Boston is getting so much appreciation. It's well deserved. The guy has absolutely thrived, and I expect a lot from him this year. I expect great things. I think he's starting to get first round evaluations for the NFL draft next year. That's great. What a lot of people are sleeping on is Omari Evans. This guy, the transfer from Penn State coming in, I've watched some film on him. He kind of reminds me of a faster, more versatile version of Jeremiah Hunter. He's kind of a big body guy. He's real lengthy. He goes up in high points balls really well, but he is super duper fast too. He had pretty decent numbers at Penn State and a team that did not notoriously throw to wide receivers.
I don't think they knew they had wide receivers.
Right. Not named Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
Throw it to the tight end guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think pairing him up with Denzel Boston and Demond is that's a 1-2 punch that I think most people are sleeping on and that they shouldn't be. I think Omari Evans statistically could have just as good of a year as Denzel Boston.
And that's funny because like the statistics, because he was at Penn State, are so pedestrian,
Right.
and it's because
They just don't throw to him.
they don't know what a wide receiver is.
The thing that it was really exciting, remember, you'll probably remember I said this, when we were still in like, well, who are we going to get in the portal days, months and months and months ago. I said we needed a guy who could space the field. Denzel's a big-bodied receiver, but no one's playing, too high to get him, keep him from, popping the top because he's working a lot of underneath stuff and he's just a big guy. We went after Jonte Cook and a couple other guys, and obviously that backfired on us. The kid from Idaho, where did he go again?
TCU.
Yeah, he took a lot of money to go there, and that's a good thing for him. Really thought we were going to get him, but it allows us to just space the field. It forces teams not to stack the box against us, and then you got guys like Rashid Williams, who this seems like everybody's talking about, like this is going to be his breakout. And so we'll see what goes on there. But the cool thing about it is that, the cool thing about it is that we have so many different body types that can fill these like other receiver roles. Like Justice Williams. That guy's a condor.
Yeah,
he's super fast. And he's kind of grown into his body and kind of. I was listening to Roman talk about this the other on one of their Locked On episodes, how he was just sprinting towards like a dead sprint towards the sideline, and then he reached up with one hand and caught it. And it sounded like, it was very close to running into Roman's mom. But,
that's like two of Roman's favorite people in one spot. Roman loves Justice Williams.
I've been a big fan of his since we got him, obviously when we were recruiting him. And, sometimes it just takes time. But you've got guys like Audric Harris, and then, everybody's talking about Desmond Roebuck right now. Like, he's just making a ton of plays. You saw in the spring game, Harris and
Vines Bright,
and oh my God, there's just this whole room full of stud receivers. I gotta be honest with you, man. This is the first time since 2 years ago where I felt really good about the receiving room. Like 2 or 3 years ago, we had Rome and all those guys, but this group has a chance to be, if not as prolific, because that was just, those guys are all in the NFL.
I'm glad
gives us options and makes us so dangerous. And then when you think about all that, we can go to 3 and 4 wide receiver sets and go single back, and then get 6 guys in the box and stuff it down your throat.
I'm glad that you mentioned Evans being able to take the top of the field off. Where I think that he's going to get the majority of his yards and probably touchdowns is when you start to see Demond scramble, the Russell Wilson drill, and he gets out to the right and he sees Evans, he points, go up the field. He points Evans up, and Evans takes the shot up, and Demond has the ability to get the ball out in distance. And I think that's where Evans is going to thrive in this offense. It might not be the set pieces, but the backyard football that's going to really set him up Versus Denzel, like you mentioned, he's a short route guy. He's going to hit those seams in stride on time, and that's kind of his MO. So, there's a lot of talk about Raiden Vinesbright getting time early. I kind of don't want to see that from him, because if he's getting a lot of time early, that means that Evans and Boston are either one of the two are hurt, or they're not performing, or Audric Harris isn't performing. He hasn't set himself up. He hasn't taken the next level as far as a competitor goes. So I mean, yeah, I'm excited for Raiden too, but I kind of for the team's sake, I think it'd be better if we didn't see a lot of him early, because that means everybody else is taking the next step.
And I also didn't mention Mr. Lawson as well. That freshman class is stacked.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, and the thing is with this group, like, you guys didn't mention Kevin Green, who's probably going to be the starting slot receiver.
Kevin Green.
Like, this group is deep, and while like they don't have the star power, obviously, of the Adunzes, the McMillans, and the Polks, the overall like depth of this group and like the diversity of skill sets that you have in it, I think sets up for a really interesting group. Because the thing about Raiden Vinesbright is, like, he can operate out of the slot so well, but he's just so fast. And Desmond Roebuck has some of the best hands on the team. Like, watching him move and granted, like, Boston wasn't playing in some of these things that you saw Vinesbright and Roebuck, even in fall camp, go out and have big days. So, like, they'll probably get pushed down the depth chart. But, like, I'm not going to be surprised if Chris Lawson burns his red shirt. I wouldn't be surprised if Raiden Vinesbright does. I wouldn't be surprised if Desmond Roebuck does. I think there's going to be packages for each of those guys to be able to highlight the skill set that they have to complement what I think is the top 5 right now would be Boston, Evans, Green, Williams, Rashid Williams, and Audric Harris, and then after that it's those true freshmen.
And those guys like Vinesbright, I mean, they still have a shot to help out on special teams, on returns and stuff like that.
You're 100% correct. Yeah.
We absolutely need the explosive element in the return game back.
And Chris, I might be mixing them up, but Chris Lawson, I think, had a lot of return tape as well, didn't he? One of them did.
Not sure.
Yeah. But still, I mean, I would love to not see David Boston returning punts this year.
Yeah, that would be the dream.
Yeah.
This was the day that I was able to go to camp. We had all the tight ends and the tight end coaches available for interview. Not all the tight ends, but 2 of them. And I couldn't find it, but apparently somebody did some power rankings on the tight end rooms in the Big Ten and rated Washington 18th out of 18.
Ooh, yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah. So that was a conversation with the tight end room. It's obviously bulletin board material now. And one of the things that Decker DeGraff talked about is that, oh man, I always forget his name.
Quentin Moore.
Quentin Moore is the best tight end in the country that nobody knows about. He does everything. He's an excellent blocker who has the athleticism to be, a Will Dissly, Drew Sample type tight end at Washington. Where do you guys see the tight end room outside of those 2 and moving forward?
I think the tight end room is going to be very good, but the ceiling for the tight end room, it depends on Cade Eldridge. I think, because we don't know what he is yet. I mean, he went to USC, came back home. Obviously, I was pushing for somebody very close to my heart to be a Husky, and they took Cade over him, and I was a little bit, okay. But I'm open-minded because I haven't seen a lot of Cade. We haven't seen a lot of Cade in college football. So Quentin Moore, we really missed him last year. Oh my God, I think at some point last year, Quentin Moore, with the offensive line issues we had, they probably would have just thrown him at left tackle at one point and said, "Here you go, buddy. We need you, buddy." Here you go. Just line up a left tackle there and try to do your best. It's got to be better than what we're seeing today. Um, so many injuries, so many injuries. But I mean, Decker DeGraff looks like he's looking a lot like Kate Otten. He's moving in that way. Just the lateral quickness and the getting in and out of his breaks. He might have a smidge more or less speed. I can't tell. And honestly, I think he looks really good right now. Every time I see a clip, every time they put out a clip from practice and he's jumping over somebody or he's streaking into the open field, like he's a matchup problem.
And he's one of DeMond's favorite targets.
Well, yeah. And DeMond, the other kid I was talking about, Jackson Bowers, they played sevens together. He's used to having a big kid like that who can just go get the ball. And they did that a lot. And so he's probably like, this is perfect. This is exactly what I'm used to doing. But yeah, I mean, Cade Eldridge. I don't see any of the freshmen getting any, run. I don't think Austin Simmons or Baron Naone. Charlie Crowell got injured like really early last year, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not sure where he is. Is he back, or is he cleared, or not yet?
I don't remember seeing him.
It was a pretty bad injury, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. It is really interesting watching Cade Eldridge and listening to him talk. And I mean, he's a Linden Christian product, and really felt like he was underutilized at USC in the passing game. He was basically an H-back full-time blocker and believed that he has a lot more to give, especially in the passing game as a pass catcher. I mean, obviously right now in the tight end room, it's going to take him a couple of years to get, he's the third pass catching tight end in this group. So maybe he catches, the game-winning touchdown in the Big Ten championship like Quentin Moore did when he was the third option. So there's opportunity for him to expand his role, I think, in a smaller, skill set or a smaller sample size, just because of the offense, the pass catching prowess of DeGraff and
Quentin Moore coming back from that knee injury. That's what I'm really looking at the start of the season is how is his horizontal movement? Is he getting out of breaks clean? Is he stable? Does he trust his knee? Being somebody that's gone through the same thing, it takes a long time to feel like you can really trust that knee ever again. How's he going to look at the start of the season? Is he going to progress through the season? Oh, I mean, he did a flip into the end zone the other day at practice. So I'm sure he's feeling a lot better than I would at this point in my career because I'm 40 and I don't have the training staff that he has. I'm sure that he's probably as close to 100% as he could be. It's just the mindset of that knee injury is what.
Let's have an honest moment here, just you and me.
Yeah.
If he was at 75%.
He's blowing me out of the water, dude. I'm not saying I wasn't saying I'm the same athlete. I'm just saying.
Well, but he's got better trainers than I do. He's got better genetics than you.
No. That was not me saying I'm the same athlete. Let's not be mistaken. I am not bashful about me saying that I am not.
We're gonna see Jake out of practice next week. He's a new transfer.
That's basketball on grass.
Yeah. Guys, I could do this, right? I still got eligibility, man.
I would pay so much money to watch. We should make a documentary.
There's 20 years ago, Trevor can attest.
Football.
Trevor can attest 20 years ago I could fly. Now Trevor can also attest at 40 years old, I'm grounded. This Airbus ain't getting off the trip,
plane ticket first.
Went from an eagle to a peacock.
Exactly.
Now to a penguin.
Yep. Not one of those short little skinny ones either.
We've all been there, man. I'm older than you are, so
but back to reality. The closer to athleticism tight end to me, Decker Graff, man, I think he's gonna have a breakout season, man. I think he is gonna be I think when we look back after this season, when Quentin Moore goes bye-bye, we're going to go and we're going to say, but we have Decker Graff, so all is okay. I see big things coming from that guy. And I like the comparison to Cade Otton, Coach. I really do.
He was a freshman All-American, and you put his room as the worst in the Big Ten.
I got to see the Rutgers tight end room, to be honest with you.
Right. I don't know everything about the Big Ten because the Big Ten has 18 teams in it, but I can tell you that,
tight ends.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah, Maryland, whatever.
I want to go back to what Cade said about not being used properly at USC. Listen, you're a Husky now, Cade, and I want to just be completely honest with you. We love you now. We welcome you. But if you voluntarily committed to Lincoln Riley thinking you were going to be a traditional wide tight end, that's on you, buddy.
That is a very good point.
Deuce was one of the more athletic kids I've ever seen in the Valley. Played at Pinnacle High School, and he plays wide receiver there. He's not a tight end anymore. He flanks out wide. He's an X receiver or Z receiver now.
A big boy too.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah.
He's going to be drafted very high next year, I do believe, unless he's got another year left. I think.
I do declare.
Anyway, yeah. So you don't go to play for Lincoln Riley and think that you're a traditional wide tight end, and obviously at Washington that's going to be a little bit different.
This last group is the group that makes or breaks the season. Health, development, some newcomers. This offensive line, obviously, like, the easiest thing that we could say is the offensive line is better than it was last year, just because they have
by default
bodies. Yeah, by default, right? They have enough where they were able to field 2 whole teams in spring ball, and they have guys that Carver Willis comes with some hardware. He was an honorable mention in the Big 12. He's moving to the left side, which is fine. You have Gary Hatchett, who got a starting job in Oklahoma before he got hurt. You have a healthy Landon Hatchett, and then you have a bunch of guys that needed to develop and look like, on paper and in person, that looks like they've taken a step forward. I'm cautiously optimistic that this is a top half offensive line in the conference. And if that's the case, I think that they can make this 2025 season feel very much like the 22 season.
So here's the fun exercise. I always say this because I know it's true, and I've known this for many years, and it's not a secret. But offensive line play is all about continuity. The longer a group plays together, the better they are. Okay? This group in this iteration has not played together yet. Man for man, they're probably more gifted. Guys, Carver's going to be a senior. Landon Hatchett's going to have his second year of really seeing a lot of time starting at center. And last year, he was basically coming into the season with no spring ball because of the knee injury. So you hope just he's bigger, stronger, faster, and he's obviously seen a lot more. And second year in the system, actually on the field. But then you start looking around, you're like, okay, well, who's at right tackle? Is it Drew Azzopardi? Is it McCree?
Right.
Is it somebody else? And did Drew take a step? Because he struggled a lot last year. Then you're like, okay, well, let's look at the guard positions. Well, they're talking about some true freshmen playing, like Champ Tualealea. John Mills could be the right tackle. And then you think, and what I'm thinking, though, is I really need Pocky to step. I need him to claim the left guard or the right guard. I don't care which one. I need him because he's been in the system a little bit. He's been in college football for a couple years. He's big. He's huge. He's athletic. He can do anything you need him to do on the offensive line. But I am so freaking nervous because this group has never played together, and we still don't even know who the 5 starters are yet.
So, yes, Coach, you're right. This group in entirety has not played together yet. The one thing that I have kind of racked my brain on and kind of fallen back on is our center and our left guard have played more games together than most four-year college starting offensive lines have together. They've played a lot of football together. They know each other in and out. They're brothers. Okay, they're gonna be able to communicate just fine together. They're gonna be
Is
fine.
one of the brothers actually starting?
I think so.
I think so.
I think Garion's coming back to start. I think he's going to be our right guard. I want to get to that in a minute. Actually, I have a question for you guys when I'm done here. Hockey, you're right, is the focal point of this entire offensive line. Are you going to take over? Are you going to be that dominant presence? I do not want to see another year of Drew as a party. I just don't. I I was when he came here to the start of the last season, I was a big Drew as a party fan. I was rooting for him. After last year, I never want to see him start another game. With that being said, I want both of you guys to give me your starting offensive line from left to right.
Carver Willis is going to be your left tackle.
Shocker.
Pocky Finau is going to be your left guard.
Sure.
Landon is going to be your center.
Sure.
Garion's going to be your right guard. And as a party of four is going to be your right tackle. Maximus McCree is going to be first up to take a tackle spot if it's not there. And
that's where I differ from you.
I like the fact that there are three people on this podcast right now that have differing opinions, so we can mock Trevor when he's absolutely wrong. Your first three picks were spot on, sir. Right guard. I can't see it. I don't know if it's going to happen. It might happen, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Who do you put in for him?
So
one of the freshmen.
Maybe it might be Champ. It might be Henning. I don't know. I'm not at practice every day, but also I remember the last time I saw Big G in a football game, and it was scary. He went away to Oklahoma, came back, and it's like a really cool story. And come back, play next to your brother. I haven't seen him in practice. I know maybe you have, Trevor. So it gives me a little bit of pause. At right tackle, though, I think the easy thing to do would be like, hey, natural progression. Drew's already got a lot of experience. We're going to throw him out there. But I don't think he's going to hold off John Mills for the entire season.
At a tackle? Jeez, dude.
But that's where he plays.
Yeah.
It's not like he's been...
they've had him they've had him at guard.
Yeah, I'm sure. But, I mean, listen, I wouldn't even be opposed to Pocky moving out to tackle, but not right now. Not right
6'6", 320.
He's got a tackle body.
Yeah, 6'5", 310, yeah.
But he hasn't been practicing there, so it's not like you can just throw him out there a few weeks before the season. That might be a next year thing. But I think the way they're recruiting right now, I don't think it's going to be a major disaster if he just stays at guard. But I honestly do think that...
Yeah, because Cody Green's going to be your starting left tackle next year.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Now, Trevor about half an hour ago said he didn't really give a shit about stars. But... I mean, this guy's got some stars. Trevor, is he too good for your taste?
That was good.
Give me a gritty 3-star.
He's already penciled him into the starting lineup. Look at this 5-star, you motherfuckers.
I'm
just a walking contradiction.
Every show, it's like, who are you?
For the last 20 years of our friendship, Trevor is a walking contradiction. You're right, Coach. He is.
God dang, he's like, I really don't feel like a burger right now. Let's go to Five Guys.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So we all have differing opinions. I do think that Garion's going to at least start the season at right guard. I don't know how long he's going to last. He's coming off of an injury, like you mentioned. Is he going to take another step? Because he needs to keep that right guard position. I don't think we see... I could be wrong. I hope I'm not. I don't think we see Drew as a party all year because I think he's still getting toasted in practice. he's not been good, and he's continuing to not be good. I think we're going to see Max McCree start the season, and then I think the next up, if he struggles, is John Mills. I think John Mills will probably end the season at right tackle.
Just out of spite for you guys, I hope Drew Azzopardi has an honorable mention type season so I can come back.
If he did, that would be fantastic, because then our offensive line wouldn't be broken, right?
Yeah.
If Drew Azzopardi, now you're smoking really illegal substances. I'm not going to name the name, crack, on the podcast. There's no chance that Drew Azzopardi has an honorable mention next to his name by the end of the season. And
he had a good camp when I was there. I was okay with it.
That's just my whole point. There's no way that that happens.
I'm basing most of mine on being there and seeing how they lined up in some of their scrimmages.
For Drew Azzopardi to have an honorable mention right tackle season, even for the Big Ten, it needs to be a good offensive line from left to right, because if anybody's going to get taken advantage of, it's going to be Drew. So from left to right side, it needs to be a solid offensive line for Drew Azzopardi to get that mention.
Just remember, last year, the real Azzopardi was the party in the backfield when opposing edge players were meeting at the quarterback. So
was that before or after?
Listen,
was that before or after Will checked it down?
Oh man, I feel bad for the kid because I want him to be good. And he has the frame to, like, you think he's like 6'7", 6'8". Like, I just wanted him to get stronger and a little bit better in the offseason. But listen, he's given Drews a bad name. And I don't appreciate it. Like, I got to walk down the street. Are you as... No, I'm coach. It's fine. I don't...
Who's more athletic, coach? You or Drew Azzopardi? Who's the more athletic?
At the same age?
No. You right now versus Drew Azzopardi.
Listen, I know that I'm not violating any HIPAA laws because it's my body, but I have more titanium in my body than many machines out there. So I'm gonna say he's good. I think he's
that means you're closer to being Wolverine than him.
It's not adamantium, sir. I'd love to.
We just nerded out on this podcast. Holy shit, we're dropping listeners.
Join us next week for our MCU primer, analyzing the new Spider-Man trailer.
We are falling off the face. We just lost all 3 listeners, guys. Welcome.
Now that they're gone,
we'll get 3 more.
Now that they're gone.
we gotta go into the multiverse and find the one where Elisha Chiquette can put on weight, because he moves really, really well, and he's so athletic and so good, and he's still 275.
He's right now. He probably feels like he's cursed, but when he's 40 and he's got those good genes, and he's not playing football anymore. He's like 211 pounds, and he's just dunking on people at the YMCA or LA Fitness. I mean, he'll appreciate that metabolism. But right now, it's like, dude, I need to get on the field, man. The only other option is he's going to have to go down to a lower level and just beat the crap out of people. So maybe Wazoo is a fit. I have no idea.
All right. Let's get to offensive MVPs.
If you say anybody but Demond, you're an idiot.
Yeah, Demond's out.
Go ahead.
Hey, so let's eliminate Demond and Jonah.
Okay, Jakey?
Drew Azzopardi.
If this season's rolling, and our offensive line is great, I'll give Drew Azzopardi the final end of the year offensive MVP. Until that point, I'm going to stick with who I talked about earlier in Amari Evans. I think that he has the ability to really transform this offense into what it was lacking last year, and that's a guy that can take the top off and really be a very consistent wide receiver. Giles did it late in the year. He was absent early. I think Amari, start to finish, is going to be that guy all year.
Coach?
I mean, you went wide receiver and you didn't pick Denzel Boston.
Yeah, I know.
Like, Jakey.
It's the easy pick, man.
I mean, we already eliminated two of the big three. There's one left.
Yeah, take him.
Well, I am. I mean, I need to shame you first. And then, I mean, we all know it's going to be Drew anyway. But yeah, I mean Denzel, dude, it's his year to absolutely blow the hell up. He's got an A+ quarterback, praying for the offensive line. They got a great running game. I love Denzel in the run game too. He gets in the way of people. He punishes people in the run game. I think that's not going to change. But I think he sets the tone as the leader on the perimeter in that wide receiving group, and then just, hey, if you need a big play, you're giving the ball to me. Like, I just think that he's got that swagger now. He's done it at a high level now at the college level. I mean, the dude had to sit. He had to wait for Rome and Jalen and just now he's a beast. If we're going to do the things we want to do this year, he's got to be a huge part. He's got to be like a 1,200 yard, 1,100 yard receiver. He's got to put up close to double-digit touchdowns, and he's got to be able to move the chains when we really need a big play.
I big shout to the Sound the Siren podcast. Listening to them, one guy that I think is going to, if this team is going to succeed the way it should, Hood said it, and it's Landon Hatchett. If he has a monster year against the Big Ten, allowing Damon Williams to operate, not have the pocket collapse right in front of his face, be really dynamic in the running game, getting outside, getting Jonah to the outside, pulling and all of that. He's kind of the guy that I think could be an MVP. Unsung heroes. Coach, I'll start with you.
You know,
or under the radar guys.
Yeah.
Maybe Landon should have been an under the radar guy.
No, I honestly, if I hadn't picked Denzel, I would have picked Landon just because of the fact that, I mean, we need to see. The last starting center at Washington is now at Alabama, and he kind of set a high bar, you know? So Landon's got to be able to do that, at least that, in my opinion. Like, he really has to, be that guy. But as far as under the radar, I'm going to have to go with, it's got to be one of the young receivers. It might be Rashid Williams. You got the two guys who are kind of established on the outside. You need somebody else to step up. Everybody's been talking about like it's his time now, and I don't disagree.
Jakey?
Yeah, I agree with Coach. I was going to say Audric Harris. As far as unsung heroes go, I'm going to say Carver Willis, and it's going to be because we don't see him on the broadcast a lot because he's not going to be letting dudes get by him. Carver Willis is going to be doing his job. And as we all know, offensive line, when they're doing their job, there's not a lot of talk about with them. They kind of just, they're there, right? I think Carver is going to have an incredible year protecting DeMond, and I don't think that he's going to get nearly enough credit for it. So I'm going to pick Carver for that reason.
Mine is Quentin Moore. I think that everybody learned who Quentin Moore was in the Oregon game that was watching that. Washington fans knew him as, I can't remember who it was, but he blocked somebody down for a touchdown in the right on the goal line, and then shot him with an arrow. Just an awesome guy to have on your team that can block and be a weapon in the passing game. I think that by the end of the year, he's going to be one of those guys that we look back that he made a couple of plays that we noticed because of him catching and then him, protecting Damon.
And so there's a little piece of the DeBoer offense that we use at where I coach. And we were doing an install over the summer of these packages where you'd see Michael Penix half boot, on stretch, half boot, plant at 9 yards, and deliver the ball downfield. And it was always Quentin Moore who was taking care of that backside blocking for Michael Penix. And it's funny because we did that install, and I was like, I immediately thought of Mike, and then I thought of Quentin Moore because he's the one that made that play happen every single time. He always picked up the hot read coming off the edge, and he handled him like a left tackle or a right tackle, like wherever he was lined up. So he is so vital, and the way he went out last year still pisses me off. That dude should have been banned from college football. And I'm sorry, he came off like it was a hockey substitution. He just came off the sideline, whatever. So yeah, big year for Quentin Moore. He may not put up the insane numbers, but every time you need him, like I don't know, like an RPO touchdown in the flat in Vegas against Oregon to get. Yeah, I don't know. He's just a beast. He can do whatever you need him to do. He's going to play on Sundays, and we love him.
Yeah. All right, well, there you have it. That's our offensive preview. When I'm right on the offensive line, let Jake and Coach hear about it. And closing remarks from anybody?
Shout out Gone Girl.
You shouting out yourself?
All right.
Yeah, boy.
Has anyone ever shouted out themselves on the
Justin.
Huh. Shout out to Leah. She couldn't make it tonight. We miss her. And shout out to JCap because Leah's
Obviously.
not here today. And also, let's just take a moment to recognize that Trevor needs a win more than anything right now. After he got absolutely dominated by me and Jake in the podcast draft.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
That's why I shouted out myself. I should have shouted you out too, Coach. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Got obliterated.
And that's not true for a myriad of reasons. I have the best 1-2 target of anybody out there with the tight end and wide receiver. And the fact that most of your rosters wouldn't exist without my defensive player says that I am.
My quarterback was there well before.
He said, hold on. Your wide receiver
So were
slash
both my wide
tight end.
receivers.
I know you got Reggie, but John Ross, Jeremy Stevens, hello?
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Never heard of him.
Come on, dude.
Never.
We'll be back to talk defense next week. I'm Trevor Mueller, Coach V, Jake Grant. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.